if you're a woman and you want to transition to a man, that's fine. You know, but if you really transition from a woman to a man and you still keep your womb, then you can't really be a man because men don't have wombs.
Hi guys, welcome back to a brand new Gays React video! Oh my gosh, hello Calum!
Hello, I forgot how loud it is.
Oh, hello!
Like
Yes!
screaming in my ear.
You just went to your podcast with me and Luxario, but your eardrums poppy woppy. It has been a long time since we have done a Gays React video, and today we are back with a banger, girls, and we are going to be discussing and reacting to a guy called No Hun. Now, we have an iconic drag performer here in the UK called Bailey J. Mills.
Yes.
Absolute icon. So, No Hun is a TikTok comedian who has about, at the moment, says 367,000 followers on Instagram, and I think it's about the same on TikTok. I don't know how many they have on TikTok, but out of nowhere, No Hun just suddenly decided to attack Bailey's partner and being like, men can't get pregnant, what are you doing? And like,
For no reason.
For no reason.
For no reason.
So Bailey's partner is a trans man who is also pregnant. We don't know what spurred this, whatever, but it just seemed to be out of the blue. So of course Bailey J. Mills was then posting about like, this person's doing this to me, please can you report this person? And of course, like most transphobic people, when you suddenly get into the transphobic realm, is it suddenly consumes your life and all of your identity becomes being transphobic. So No Hun has decided to post a barrage of anti-trans and anti-LGBT
Nothing
videos.
but, claims he's a comedian, but nothing but anti-trans rhetoric.
Yes.
That's all he posts now. That's his entire identity.
Even though it was just this one thing that happened, it just became the entire thing. But one of the main reasons why we're doing this video on No Hun, and because he's actually gay as well. So he's part of the community. So this is very like LGBT Alliance. LGBT out the thing. And also he went on to GB News.
It's not a real news show. Just putting it out there. Not a real news show.
Let's not beat around the bush waffly.
Do you not actually have a fan?
It's out on the bed, so I can't, well, it's fine.
It's literally here.
Right, get fine. Hot. Let's not beat around the bush waffly and get up. Oh, it broke. I just heard.
See, now look what I've done.
Look what you've done, No Hun. Okay, so let's start, shall we?
So I've heard that men are now modelling women's bras. So I'm just
Oh, you know who that was what about to. Hang on, wait. So let's just go back a second. Hang on.
So I've heard that men are now modelling.
Nike Transit Sports Bra campaign insults women across the world. This is purely Dylan Mulvaney. So when Dylan Mulvaney got the Nike underwear, sportswear from Nike, did like a spawn on their own again, like on her Instagram page, literally just sent her some stuff to do at home. Like it was the most small little thing.
It was like the equivalent of Roly or I doing a small little spawn on our Instagrams.
Yeah.
And suddenly it's making international news as being this enormous scandal, and Nike are making Dylan Mulvaney the face of that. No, they're not. They just sent her a bra.
Women's bras. So I'm just in Primark. I thought I'd come and try some bras on. Maybe even some maternity wear while I'm there, because that'll be next, don't it? We'll have men modelling maternity wear. But look at this maternity gown.
Trans men exist. Do you know what's really fun? Do you know what's really funny about this is like a lot of these people when they do stuff like this is they always talk about the men invading women's spaces. But what are you doing?
Literally.
What are you doing?
Literally. Something I see time and time again is with these TERFs, with these transphobic people, is they don't seem to understand the actual difference between biology and gender and what a trans man is and what a trans woman is. They're often getting angry, saying like, oh, trans women can't get pregnant. And we're going, yeah. Yeah, we know that nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying trans, we're talking about trans men.
Yeah.
And it's like they don't understand the difference between these things.
It's because in their mind, becoming this sounds awful, but it's just reality. Transitioning into a woman is like almost like being a step down the ladder, because in like the patriarchy, men is like the top. So when you become a man, it's like you're almost like ascending the superiority. I don't know what the wording's weird, but you know what I'm trying to say.
And it's the thing as well that they keep telling us to like understand and respect the biological reality. Understand that biology exists, and we're saying we do understand that biology exists. This is why we're saying that trans men can get pregnant. We're the ones respecting the biological reality. You are the idiots that refuse to acknowledge scientific fact.
Can't say that men can't wear maternity wear. That's not very inclusive. Men can get pregnant now as well, don't you know? If you tell me as a man that I can't wear maternity wear, you're being transphobic.
I want to stop.
Transphobia. Oh, I might wear this when they're doing my cesarean. What do you reckon?
Terrible
This is the
hand
world
top
we live
tattoo.
in now. You know, you can't just have pregnant women modelling maternity wear. That's not
What's
fair.
this
on
all?
the
Wait, can I
5,000
say one
genders.
thing? Just as what's this like strange hairline tattoo he's got on his? What's this?
I was on the phone now. Tell him I want to be the new face.
Men don't want to wear that! Trans men do not want to wear a bra! You brain dead moron! I cannot watch this man putting on a bra.
The thing is,
I cannot.
this is the whole thing. Again, it's like I said earlier on, but these people are intentionally going into women's spaces and acting like this is what men are doing. It's like, well, men are doing it because you're doing it. The same as the whole bathroom bills, everything that came under. It's like people, oh, now men are going to attack women. It's like literally just a bathroom sign is not going to stop a man going to attack you. Like if a man's going to attack you, they're going to attack you. And to blame the trans community for it and to stop people being able to like live their truth because a man's going to do it. It's just like, it's ridiculous. And No Hun's doing the exact same thing here by going into the changing room being like, well, I can do this now. And it's like, but this isn't actually happening. People aren't doing this. This is only happening because you're being a twat.
Even if this was a reality, that there were men masquerading as trans women to get into access to women's spaces to commit assault or whatever it is that they're imagining, that still is not the fault of trans people.
Yeah.
That is still the fault of cis men.
It's to celebrate Dylan becoming the new face of
The new
Maybelline
face.
and
Hang on, wait,
society
sorry.
take-
Wait. Sorry, I want to pause it as
It's
it
to
came out.
celebrate
Hang on.
Dylan.
So, new Maybelline, now Maybelline Faces calls for boycott after sponsorship tie-up with trans influencer Dylan Mulvaney. Again, it's the same thing. Someone doing their own sponsorship on their own page is now suddenly the new face. I'm now an ambassador with Twitch. I'm not suddenly the face of Twitch. When people look at me, they go, oh, this is actually what Twitch is.
Yeah, like ridiculous.
I'm a tiny portion of the Twitch
I
world.
work with Absolute Vodka. Am I the face of Absolute Vodka?
You are actually, yeah.
I wish I was.
You have your own little face on a bottle.
I do actually.
But that's exactly what happened to Bud Light. They sent one can of
One
Bud Light
can.
to Dylan, being like, "Oh, here, the can of her face on it," and everyone acted as if like she was now suddenly she was like the head CEO of like.
Can you just roll the footage of the person shooting like cans of
I
Bud Light
can't
with
put
assault
guns
rifles?
and things on. It's too. But
Just imagine. You've probably already seen it.
Yeah,
Anyway. Like
all the
just
guns.
unhinged, like unhinged.
I mean, that is the most American thing I think you
a
could ever
trans
see.
woman received a free beer.
And all of a sudden it was like, we must shoot a grenade! You just said it's about men not getting pregnant, so why are you now attacking Dylan?
Again, yeah, like so quickly. Always go
What's this-
straight on to attacking trans women because you do not understand the difference. I think he genuinely is sitting there thinking that Dylan Mulvaney is somebody who thinks that they can get pregnant.
And becoming the new face of Maybelline and society taking one more step closer to the eradication of women. I've decided to come to the Maybelline standing boots today and try some products.
So you're doing it again. So you're doing it again.
Wait. Makeup isn't even a gendered
No, yeah,
product.
it's stupid.
I wouldn't be surprised if Nohan himself has probably worn makeup in the past if he doesn't in fact wear it now. So I don't understand. Like men have been
Cis
have
men
been
have done
wearing
makeup, yeah.
for like decades and decades. So like acting like this is some new issue to be scandalized about because a trans woman, not even a man, a trans woman is wearing makeup, has done a makeup sponsorship is ridiculous.
Again, you're going into spaces and being like, this is what men are doing. Yes, you.
Oh, for God's sake.
I mean,
For God's
can I
sake.
just say something though? Of course, awful tattoos. But like, can I say what what he's doing is actually really disgusting. Like going into a public store and like putting the actual testers on your
over
face.
you, yeah.
Like, not even for like disgusting for other people. It's disgusting for you. Like that like it's so gross. One of the main things you ever get taught when you're doing makeup or learning about makeup is you don't just go into a shop and just put on like that. Like that's how you get like skin rashes, diseases, like eye infections.
I don't even wear
Like,
makeup. Never have. But like, even I know that I wouldn't go into a store and do that.
Maybelline. Hold on, we need a new one, mate. Maybe she was born with it. Maybe she was born a he. Woohoo, women.
Again, it's just outright transphobia. This
Outright
isn't
transphobia.
This isn't a different opinion. You're just being transphobic. But the woke people are upsetting me because I can't call someone a man.
And again, I thought your issue was with trans men
And now it's for
being
trans.
pregnant,
Yeah.
but now you're just misgendering trans women who haven't done anything. Not that trans men have done anything to you either, but like, why are you now attacking trans women as well?
Yeah.
For literally what reason? Literally what reason?
But this is what happens. It's the rabbit hole. They do one thing, and then suddenly it just becomes their entire. Like this is literally all he's posted.
Is he okay? Do we need to call an ambulance? Is he having a fit? Why is he moving like that? Oh God, hello, can I have an ambulance please? It's Sam Smith, I think he's having a stroke. It's giving, what's it giving?
Wait, can I say, like, having a stroke is not funny? Like, can I say one thing as well? Like, what Sam Smith is doing, like, regardless of how I feel about Sam Smith, what Sam Smith is doing is nothing different than any other performer.
Is this what we're calling entertainment now? An overweight homosexual parading around the stage in a pair of woman's knickers. Well, if that's the case, I already ticked 2 of the boxes. I only need the knickers now. Mom, have you got a pair of knickers I can borrow?
Just remember what I said earlier on, by the way, TikTok comedian. I find it so strange. Like, so, Nohan's done multiple videos on Sam Smith, just like slagging Sam Smith off. What I said, like, regardless of how you feel, the amount of, like, hate that they receive just seems unwarranted. It's just so strange that, like, Sam Smith has become, like, this huge, a little bit like Dylan Mulvaney, like, become, like, these huge targets for the alt-right community. They really pinpoint these people and just go at them, like, so hard.
Sam Smith is one of these people that has always received a barrage of hate from the LGBT plus community, and I've never really understood why, because this has been going on since long before Sam Smith came out as non-binary. This has been going on for such a long time, and I don't know what it is that people get so angry about. And I say good for Sam for coming out here and, like, pushing boundaries and doing something a little bit different but that we're not seeing, and trying to, like, champion plus size people. I think it's a great thing. And you would think that somebody like Nohan, being a plus size individual himself, you would think that maybe he could, you know, look up to somebody like this instead of trying to tear them down.
Yeah. After a lot of the backlash happened, this is the video that he posted as, like, when, you know, the main backlash happened, and Attitude did, like, a segment being, like, explaining Nohan's transphobia, and obviously a lot of YouTubers like me and Calum, we all, like, well, you're not a YouTuber, but a lot of people on the internet were, like, making posts on Instagram about it. This is what his response was.
Things first, men cannot get pregnant. Okay, that is a scientific, biological fact. Not once in the history of Earth has a man ever gave.
Anybody who understands science, who understands biology, who understands gender, who understands what it means to be a human being, and they will tell you that obviously some trans men can get pregnant. Anybody with a uterus can get pregnant, and that includes trans men. That is a scientific, biological fact. I am getting so tired of people, and it's always transphobic people, coming onto the internet and saying, this is a scientific No, it's not! You're just saying words! Say it as a million times. Say it as many times as you want. It will not make it true.
Well, I mean, just as a little side note, I just realised that the hair tattoo, I thought he had a hairline tattoo to pretend he had hair. It's just actually barbed wire on his forehead.
Yeah, he was in, like, the Daily Mail or something.
The Daily Mail! The Daily Mail!
About regretting this tattoo
what
or something.
Imagine getting barbed wired.
He should regret all of his life choices, to be honest.
Give birth to a child. Go and ask any gynecologist, they will tell you the same thing.
No, they won't. No, they won't. No, they won't. No, they won't, because gynecologists have to talk to trans men as well.
Yeah.
On you. Fact is fact, and the fact is a man cannot get pregnant. That is not transphobic, that is a fact. It's very unfortunate that we live in a world now where it's basically illegal to have an opinion now.
See, this is always the talking points that a lot of these people do. It's like, it's just an opinion. My opinion is. He had a comedy tour, and okay, I use the term loosely. He had a comedy tour, and loads of venues obviously pulled out from working with him when all this happened, and he was going on about how, it's so these people I've been cancelled, blah, my opinion. It's like, you are allowed to have your opinion on anything. You know, you do whatever, but it's also my choice. Say I own a venue. It is my choice to allow you to come into my space and promote my space and use my space. It doesn't matter why I've decided to cancel whatever. As a venue, it is my choice. And if I don't like something that you're doing, I am allowed to say no. This isn't, well, I should be allowed to say what I want and you should deal with it. No, everyone is allowed their own choice and their consent and what their boundaries are. So if this venue decides that they don't want to work with anymore, that's completely up to them. And you can't be like, it's so unfair. No, you said something that people didn't like. Therefore, this is the consequence of what you have said. I'm also allowed my opinion. And my opinion is, you're a like, So I'm allowed this opinion. That's my opinion, and I don't want to be seen or work or do anything with you.
Everyone was saying we need to trust the science during the pandemic when they were lining up to get.
So he's an
Is
is he an anti-vaxxer?
Is this a real surprise?
Oh,
I mean,
colour me shocked.
It was in one of the last podcast episodes. Luxay made a good point that like a lot of these kind of conspiracy theorists will like believe in multiple things. It's never just like they just believe in one little thing. Like most people who like that, of course, this person believes that COVID's a hoax or whatever. Like,
But I'm honestly not surprised, and this isn't. I'm not saying this from a judgmental point of view, because if Nohan was a lovely person, I would never ever be coming for his intellectual capabilities. But from everything he has said about trans people, it's quite clear that he doesn't actually understand what it means to be trans.
Oh,
What it means to
absolutely.
be a trans man, what
Yeah.
it means to be a trans woman.
Yeah.
So he can't actually grasp the quite simple idea of gender.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't surprise me that he can't also understand the scientific reality of something like COVID. But he's coming onto his platform thinking he's the one that's figured it out, and he's the one who's the smartest, and he's the most intelligent among us, which is really ironic because he's actually really fucking stupid.
and the thing is as well is like a lot of these, they become so empowered and emboldened with their statements because the right-wing people really rally behind anyone who talks their talking points. He's actually got a lot of attention from the right wing now because of all of this and so much more. Yeah, he's lost a lot of subscribers and followers anyway from like our side, but these other people now have rallied behind him, which has now empowered his stance, which has made him like double down so much. Hence when we get to GB News stuff, we'll see.
Everyone was saying we need to trust the science during the pandemic when they were lining up to get 10 jabs, weren't they? But they don't want to trust the science that's been here since the dawn of time that says that women were the ones who were...
Can I also say, like, if you're going to say things like the science is drawn of time, I mean, years ago they thought putting leeches on you was going to heal you for things. They thought, giving lobotomy was going to cure... They thought making a little hole in the head here would cure a headache. If you're going to start talking about things like the dawn of time of science, as if, like, now what we have now was the science forever. Like, that's stupid. Like,
My favourite thing about science is that we always update what our knowledge of facts are based on the information that's available
exactly.
to us. So when people try and pull shit like this, saying that like, no, we're actually looking at the reality, we're actually looking at all of the data and information that's available to us and sort of building our scientific understanding of the world around that. It's literally the opposite of what you're saying.
So freedom of speech is only fair game until you say something that a minority of people disagree with.
You're
we-
part of two minorities yourself. It's straight. I don't understand. This is so weird to be like, I'm part of two different minorities, so I'm also now going to attack another minority. Like, what the
But what he's saying here is he's using the word minority to try and diminish the thoughts of the majority of people in this is something that trans people do all the time. They say that people who believe in trans rights and stand up for trans people and believe that trans men are men and that trans women are women, these people are a minority in society. No, they're not.
Yeah.
Look at the data. In the UK, the most recent polls show that it is only 23% of people are against trans rights.
Yeah.
You, Nohan, are in that small minority, that
Yeah.
23% of people.
I feel like I'm in your show today. I feel this is you. You never take control this much before, do you? I'm scared.
Hello everyone, it's me, Michelle, formerly known as Rory, but now I've decided I want you to refer to me as Michelle. Now I want to start this video off by apologising.
Remember, this is meant to be a
in
comedian.
the last couple of weeks, been absolutely atrocious. Abhorrent. Some of the things that I've said, the people that I've targeted, I'm so ashamed of myself. I'm so sorry. And the thing is, you were right, what you said, it is internalised hatred, it is. Because I see these people living authentically to themselves, and it makes me feel invalidated. Because I'm not brave or confident enough to do that.
It's like the lowest form of comedy.
Hi everyone, so while I wait for the result of my pregnancy test...
It just becomes their existence.
I'm going on tour
funny.
again.
It's
just going on
your
super
comedy
duper
tour
fan.
because you're
Tickets
so
are gonna go on
hilarious,
sale on
Nohan.
Friday. Unfortunately now, I'm going to have to postpone it because of what's happened in the last few
Good.
days. Oh yeah, me saying
Not
that
easy, is
I
it?
got pregnant because a minority group of freaks
Not
and
minority.
weirdos.
A
who
minority
chose
group of freaks.
to upon
Majority of
themselves to
normal
contact
people.
the venues to try and get my tour cancelled. And unfortunately, some of these venues don't have a backbone and have pandered to these beings.
I think it's
Beings. Do you see
this-
how dehumanizing his
Yeah, this
language
is the thing. It's like it wasn't that long ago that they would talk about black people like that. Again, this is like Candace Owens. It's the same stuff. The stuff that she says, it's like people were saying exactly the same about her 50, 60 years ago. It's just insane to me that you would happily just now perpetuate this to other people. I just don't get it. I'm just saying men can't get pregnant, but then you literally call people beings. And like freaks. Like it's. I don't understand where is the. Oh, I just said this one thing. No, you're dehumanizing actual people.
Horrible.
Show. So basically, they've come along waving the trans flag, playing the victim. Meanwhile, online racially abusing me.
Can I just say as well? A lot of the people, I hate here that he's saying, oh, they come into my comments waving the trans flag, and it's like, actually, no, hon. Because I've looked, I was very invested in this when it was happening because it made me so angry. It actually quite upset me to see somebody with such a large platform coming for people who have done nothing to hurt anybody so intensely. So I was really invested in this, and I was looking at the comments, and I saw very, 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 very few trans people actually in the comments, because actually it's really difficult to stick up for yourself with something like this.
Yeah.
What I saw was floods and floods and floods of allies coming to the defense of their trans siblings, their trans friends, etc. So like acting as if like people have come in with waving trans flags and being like and attacking him somehow. Like it's just not the reality.
But again, as well, this is the thing, is like you said about it's just about, I just said one thing, men can't get pregnant. Again, we'll talk about this. And you said people have come in waving the trans flag, which now you're not just saying men can't get pregnant. You're saying the trans community as a whole, like trans people as a whole. You're not just
quite the leap.
Yeah, you're not specifying a specific person who you've said this one thing about. You're talking about the entire group. So you're not just saying something that's like talking about men can't get pregnant. You're talking about the entire trans community. So for the final one for this video is a little bit longer. Left this for last because this is like when all this stuff was obviously happening. GB News reached out to him and was like, "Come and be on our show and we'll talk about the cancel culture." So
GB News.
GB News is as I said, it's a right-wing news show. Very like Brexit, very anti-LGBT. It's very like Nigel Farage. Like it's I think what's she called? Anne Widdecombe's like was a presenter for a while on it as well. Like it's literally like the shit of the shit. Like it's just conspiracy theory like nonsense.
Welcome back to Free Speech Nation with me, Andrew Doyle. A rapper and stand-up comedian has had some of the dates on his tour cancelled after he said that men can't get pregnant.
That's not why he got cancelled.
who posts videos on TikTok and Instagram to almost 1 million followers, was accused of transphobia after making the remarks. No Hun, real name Rory Williams, joins me now. Good evening. No Hun, you're more comedian than rapper these days, aren't you?
Yeah.
You do both of those things.
Yeah.
And so what was the tour? Was it mostly a comedy tour that you were doing?
Stand-up comedy tour, yeah.
And how many venues have pulled the...
7.
Not the point. But can I just say, like, I used to present a radio show, and the best thing is when you ask somebody a question and they really come back and give you a really detailed answer. No one is just saying yes.
It's because you can suddenly see the confidence, like
the insecurity is
sucked
oozing,
straight out of him. Like this
from
is,
him.
and it's clearly because he's out of his normal environment that he can be like, oh, but now all of a sudden confronted, especially in front of people, you can just see in that little moment how much more subdued he is, because all of a sudden he's out of his element and he's out of his like depth.
Yeah.
So I think for the viewer's benefit, perhaps it would help if we understood what it was that you said and who you said it to and why it caused such offence.
Okay, so basically, obviously it comes to my attention, there was a lot of, I call them trans extremists, you know. I've seen videos of men marketing women's sanitary towels and women's bras, and I went into Primark and I made a video.
About that for one moment?
Okay.
So no one here is saying that men were marketing women's sanitary towels. Dylan Mulvaney, a trans woman, she wasn't being sponsored by anybody. She just talked about the fact that she carries feminine hygiene products herself, so that if any women around her need one, that she has one on hand.
How dare she? Disgusting. No, vile.
What a lovely supportive thing to do. To be there for her sisters and to just like, to do like, I would never think, oh, I'm going to carry this product around that I don't need in case any of the people around me do. Like, what a lovely person.
But also there are trans men who still menstruate, so could...
Well, yeah. Of course, trans men menstruate as well, yeah. But like, I just think, what a lovely thing she was doing. And it is so sad that somebody would try and twist that into something evil.
Trying on maternity wear, and somebody commented on the video and said, I find this offensive, I'm a pregnant man. And then I said, well, men can't get pregnant. And they're not.
And that's the key phrase.
So can I say one thing? There was a lot of stuff. I can't want to go through the whole thing because there's a lot of stuff, and you can go and check out Bailey and her partner if you want to like see what happened. But Noam was like sending voice notes to them, being like, "I'm getting the clout. I'm getting the clout. I'm getting the clout. It's all the clout for me." And like sending the. Do you not notice? Yeah, he was sending them like loads of messages, being like, "Shut up, you're gross. You can't get pregnant. I'm getting the clout." And it was really actually really horrific. Like it wasn't just him saying, "Oh, men can't get pregnant." Like he was actually like being quite vicious towards them.
It's horrible.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna. You can go research all that stuff yourself, but like this is what happened, and this is the reason why he was cancelled. It wasn't because he just made a little tiny statement. It was because of all the stuff that he was doing around it, and actually really going for someone in the UK who actually we love and adore. You go for someone who's very well known, and then act surprised when the very well known person gets attention on you. Like it's weird. I don't like so strange when people attack a famous person or something, and then get surprised that the famous person defends themselves, and all of a sudden, then they get attention back on them from like fans. I just don't understand why you poke the bear, you're gonna get eaten. Like I don't understand. It's weird. I don't get that notion of like, no. All of a sudden I was being attacked. You literally threw rocks at a hornet's nest. Like what are you doing? Like
we've seen people like Dylan Mulvaney, biological male, advertising women's sportswear.
Well, that was what.
That was what
started it.
And a lot of people
insecurity. You can even just the way that they're talking. Like he won't even like, look at the audience. He's so like nervous and out of his element. But again, this is the saying. Regardless of whether you think Dylan Mulvaney is faking or is actually a man, this is actually irrelevant. The idea that you would say that to be a woman, you have to have large breasts. There are many women who have sizes like from smaller to larger out of the entire spectrum. There are women who have had like cancer who might have their breasts removed. There are so many different types of women and different types of body shapes that like even if you want to put like, oh, he doesn't have a chest and oh Dylan blah, 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 that's still a proportion of people who are wearing that stuff. And what I don't understand as well is it's like trans women who just live their life whatever blah, 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 they don't wear men's clothing. They will wear that stuff. Like that is what they would wear. So I don't understand like fundamentally, what is a bra for? What is a bra for? Like let's strip away all the like convention of gender, etc. What is a bra for? It is, it serves a purpose, and it is to support breasts. And whether you like to agree with it, even though it's facts, whether you want to believe it or not, like many trans women have breasts. Mm-hmm. So should the people with breasts be allowed to wear a bra? No.
I don't really understand why that women find that offensive. But of course it's kind of offensive, isn't it?
Of course it's an infringement
Why is it offensive?
women's spaces and women's rights.
No,
it's invading women's spaces while I go into the changing room with a woman and put on a bra that I don't want to wear because I'm actually not a woman. Like,
ew.
It's so, I just can't, they say this all the time, they're invading women's spaces. No, you are invading a woman's space. But again, it's buzzwords. It's buzzwords.
I hate him!
It's buzzwords. It's just buzzwords. They hear invading women's space. Your genes are XY. It's just these buzz phrases that they all have that they just spew over and over again. That's all they do. That's literally all they do. They just repeat the same thing, and it's just nauseating.
I actually slipped into Nohan's live. He did a live when Attitude Magazine did a piece on his transphobia and like broke it down for people so that they could understand what was happening. I actually slipped into Nohan's live to have a little watch, and it was one of the worst things I've ever watched in my entire life. I'm never getting those like 10 minutes of my life back. But what was really interesting is Nohan was just sat there going, men can't get pregnant, men can't get pregnant, men can't get pregnant. Just saying the same thing over and over again. Then he kept saying, like, if you think that's true, come here with some facts. So I repeatedly just, popped the facts in the chat there, and he just kept saying over and over again, men can't get pregnant, somebody come at me with some fact. And I'm like, you're such a twat.
Their brain rot. Bigotry rots the brain.
Such a twat.
It rots the brain, and it rots the face, and it rots the brain.
Worms for brains.
So it's just, the thing is, these people as well, they don't want to change. They all say like they come up with facts or whatever, but they actually don't want to learn. So you can show, a bit like the guy on Twitter who was doing the women's dating app, and then I called them out, many people did, and again the response was, oh, so you agree men shouldn't be on these apps? Get off it.
Yes, stop being on there.
Get off it.
Pink News said that you were harassing people on Instagram because you'd used this phrase more than once. You'd used the phrase, men can't get pregnant.
Yeah.
What do you say when people say that you've been harassing people? How do you respond to that?
Well, I haven't harassed nobody. I just.
I'm
Again,
sorry.
lies. He lies.
I am
Lies.
sorry.
That's literally just a lie.
I've not seen the voice notes that you were talking about, but I have seen the comments. Literally just commenting on every single picture. Men can't get pregnant. You're not a man. Like, harassment. Whatever way you square that, even if, like, it doesn't matter. Take the trans debate aside. And, like, doing that to anybody is still harassment.
Yeah.
Going into every single one of their pictures and leaving hateful comments is harassment.
Yeah.
Whatever way you flip it. Whatever way you flip it. If you genuinely believed these wrong opinions, but you were respectful about it and then came at it from a place of debate, then I might hear what you're saying, that it's not harassment. But that's not what you did, is it?
Yeah.
Attitude magazine said that they felt that you probably suffered from internalised hatred.
I really, I hate that. I mean, for me, look, when I think about it, when people come at me and say those kinds of things, I think, well, how come you can have your opinion but I can't have my opinion?
Well, you can have your opinion, but your opinion comes with consequences. Again, like we said all the time, your opinion is that and our opinion is this, and we're allowed to... If you can go onto your platform with 300,000 people and say something, I can also go onto my platform with X amount of people and say this, like, say something else.
I'm actually very happy in myself, I'm very confident in myself. That's why I feel like I can express my opinions, and I feel like when they say statements like that, they're sort of deflecting.
No, you're deflecting.
I mean, that particular statement from Attitude magazine also suggested that you were the equivalent to Vladimir Putin, or it was very extreme.
Oh, okay,
saying that you were
whoa.
inciting violence.
Again, taking things massively out of context. That is not what Attitude magazine said. Attitude magazine said, I'm paraphrasing, this isn't a direct quote, but they said something along the lines of, Nohan is joining the likes of J.K. Rowling and Vladimir Putin. Because that is true. Putin came out and supported J.K. Rowling in her transphobic tirade. So trying to twist it and saying that we're saying that a transphobic person over here in the UK is the same as Putin, declaring war over there, it's like, that's not what we were saying. You're deliberately twisting our words. But Nohan, you are indeed on the side of Putin, who wants gays to be executed.
Yeah.
I hope you realise that. And the same to you, J.K. Rowling, because she's obviously watching one of your YouTube videos.
So let's just clarify. They accused you of calling trans people mentally ill. Pink News accused you of saying that trans people...
I mean, you called trans people freaks and... What was the other word he said?
Beings.
That's not an accusation. Ew. You did it.
A freak show. But you were very specifically talking about the minority of extremist activists, not trans people as a whole.
No,
am I
not
right?
trans people as a whole at all, no, just the extremists.
No,
And I
not
feel
trans
like it's
people
the
at all,
extreme-
but here's a long ream of transphobic content that attacks every single trans person that has ever existed.
This is the thing that I always don't understand with this kind of people, and they say things like that, and they say, "Oh, I'm just talking about the extremists," but like, who do you consider a real, like, where have you ever praised an actual trans person? Who are you considering, like, the trans community who aren't the extremists?
Probably never knowingly met a trans person. This is what I find as well. These real transphobic people, they don't know trans people. They don't have trans people in their lives, because if they did, they would see the humanity in trans people and stop, and they wouldn't behave like this.
That have the loudest voice, especially in the media and on social media. You know, these are the kind of clips that we're seeing.
Have you even in the media?
Have you read a newspaper
like, what are you
lately?
talking about? Like, it's non-stop a barragement of hate towards trans people. Like, what are you talking about? Again, brain dead.
Coming from extremist trans people, they're not a real representation of the trans community.
But what is?
Unfortunately,
Tell us what
they have
is.
the loudest voice because a lot of people are so scared to speak out about them.
And a lot of people will say, but wait a minute, this is the LGBTQIA plus community.
XYZ.
XYZ, I probably missed a couple of letters, so that's a hate crime.
Yeah.
But that you're part of that community, and that's why they're saying this is internalised hatred. Do you think there's a problem here? Because you did do a video where you said that you were sick of the word community. Can you explain what you mean by that?
Yeah, I think, for me, when I'm looking at transgender and I'm looking at LGB and T, they're very much different things.
LGB Alliance.
One aspect is sexual orientation, the other is a gender dysphoria. I
The
don't see
other's
how
gender
they
dysphoria.
can be tied under the same umbrella.
Yes.
It doesn't make sense to me because they're not the same thing.
No one said they are.
How would you feel if some of the activists said we'd want a conversation with you about it and have a discussion rather than... Because you've had a lot of abuse as a backlash to this.
Yeah.
Has that surprised you, that sort of approach?
Well, not really, no. I mean, because I spoke fact. I said that men can't get pregnant. That was a fact.
No, you harassed a trans man.
That's what
on
happens.
Instagram.
That's the reality of
Sent
what
them
happens.
many
That's the reality of what
horrific
happens.
messages, voice notes, like...
No one has came back at me with a fact. They've just came with abuse.
I came back
you still
at you with
haven't
a fact, actually.
responded to the statement that I made, which is that men can't get pregnant.
No, so it's as though that's all they've
just
got.
deflected by abusing me. Yeah, and it doesn't bother me because, you know, you're entitled to your opinion. I'm entitled to mine.
Oh, so now we're entitled to our opinion, but all of a sudden now it's like you can't say. So now you're saying you're entitled to your opinion, I could be in my. So my opinion is that we don't want to work with you, but now all of a sudden it's disgusting that they don't want to work with me. But you just said that they can have an opinion. I don't. It's so weird. It's like it doesn't have any idea what he's saying.
Literally no idea what he's saying.
But I mean, there's a real issue of freedom of speech here, isn't there? You know, I mean, you as an artist, as a creative, should
How
be
is there an issue with freedom
I don't
of
get
speech?
it.
People are exercising their freedom of speech to contact the venue and say, hey, have you seen what this person is
Yeah.
doing? And you are exercising your freedom of speech by going on the internet and saying awful things. How is that? How?
In my opinion, nothing's changed for me, apart from the fact that I've had to now obviously rearrange my tour. That's the only inconvenience, but I still have my platforms and I still have my audience and I'm still free to express myself.
Do you think your behaviour would change off the back of this, like what these activists have done? Have they got to you at all?
No.
Really? Not at all?
Not at all, no.
Oh, we can't really see because it's a mood thing. He's so bothered by this. It's so. You wouldn't have gone on a TV show if you weren't bothered. Like, if you really weren't bothered, you wouldn't have just kept going on about it. Like, I always think it's funny. So this is a very common thing. Like, I don't care. Doesn't faze me. You are so bothered.
If you're a woman and you want to transition to a man, that's fine. You know, but if you really transition from a woman to a man and you still keep your womb, then you can't really be a man because men don't have wombs.
Should we go kill ourselves?
I can't, like, that statement in it, like, there are many women who have had their wombs removed. Does that mean they're men?
By what he's
By
saying,
what he's just
that's-
said now, just a woman who's
that's
had
what
her.
it means.
Like, but then also, like, so what he just, let's actually digest what he just said. He just said, if a man wants to become a woman and transition to a woman, that's fine. But if a woman wants to become a man, she has to have a womb removed, else it's not real. But does a trans woman have to have a womb put inside her to become a woman? But you just said it's fine for a man to transition into a woman, but the other way around, all of a sudden it's not because you need to do extra steps. Like, you have no idea what you're saying. You are so stupid.
Also, he's literally sitting here on a television program, and basically what he's saying is that, oh, it's fine if you want to be a trans man, but you absolutely must have an unnecessary, potentially life-threatening surgery just to justify that. For no other reason, but just to justify it in his tiny, small-minded little brain, you must have your womb removed. What a ridiculous thing to say!
Statements like that you've just made have just solidified to everyone who actually watched this that you actually have no idea what you're talking about. Like, you're just parroting right-wing talking points without any understanding about what you're saying.
Can we talk about the dating app situation? Can we talk about that?
The dating app.
Can we talk about the dating apps? So basically, we saw this on Twitter, and it was a man going onto a dating app for lesbian women, trying to masquerade as a transgender woman to prove a point that the lesbian dating apps are being infiltrated by
men.
cis men.
Yeah.
So you are literally doing what you are complaining against.
Yeah.
And not only that, so he goes onto the lesbian dating app, successfully finds a man on there trying to infiltrate the space. Another person, just like him, on the app trying to prove that there are men infiltrating
But
the
there was another one as well. There was two of the men that he found on the app, and he was saying like, oh, this person says they're like gender queer and non-binary. We're just also men, cis straight men on the app trying to find other people to show us what the app's like now. The level of irony that's happening here that you can't even see is actually embarrassing.
It's like going to a trans pride march, smashing the place up, you and a load of transphobes smashing the place up, and then going, look what you trans people did. It's ridiculous.
So that is the wormhole that we've just gone down through of no hun. I just as I've said, I don't want to keep repeating myself. I just find it actually quite embarrassing for you that you would happily talk about all this stuff with a clearly zero understanding about.
Zero.
Just zero
Literally
understanding. Zero understanding about what you're talking about.
Hey everyone, so stupidly, I accidentally deleted the end of this video. I don't know how it happened, but I have to do the last bit just on audio, but thank you so much for watching today's video. I'll keep it quick because it's a bit weird. Please hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos that are coming up. Thank you for all your love and support on Twitch. Make sure you do follow me on Twitch. I'm doing weekly reaction videos over there too. Roly West over there. A massive shout out to my lovely Patreons. Thank you for being a patron. You guys are delicious. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye everyone.